Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Oh, all right, I'll give you a hug. That's enough, no more touching. Being a dceu fan, I think we all wear our dceu fandom on our foreheads. And that makes us a target. It does. How many times have I been giffed about the Martha moment or anything in Man of Steel or BVS or being told Suicide Squad is a mess of a movie, which I don't agree with, by the way. Um, t- how many times are people showing the Henry Cavill upper lip CGI, and so on and so on and so forth, because it isn't cool to be a DCEU fan. We know that much. But I am so proud to be a DCEU fan. And when I look at MCU fans, it's up to you. And well done for being MCU fans. It's a very successful franchise. But of course, as I've said many a time, success and popularity and big box office is not a stamp of quality. When we go down 20 or 30 or even 40 years' time, it's going to be the DCEU that's remembered. It's going to be Man of Steel that's going to be remembered as a classic. It's Batman v Superman that's going to be remembered more flatteringly. You don't believe me? It will be a cult classic. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is already a cult classic. And I'm so proud to be part of this fandom. And then this fandom has been reinvigorated by this cause, which is to release the Snyder Cut of Justice League. So look, I think we are a fabulous bunch of fans. I think we really are. And we've really got behind Zack Snyder and we've really got behind this franchise. It's going to be interesting going forward if we do get behind this franchise. I want to. I absolutely want to. I'm excited for the future movies. One worry I have about the DCEU now is that it gets woke. It gets woke like the MCU, because the MCU is becoming woke now. We saw what happened with Captain Marvel. Now they claim that they made over $1 billion, but why did they reduce her role in Endgame if her movie made so much money? It's a bit confusing. Anyway, we're not here to talk about their generic little universe, are we? We're here to talk about, the superior DCEU. And I think it is a superior franchise. I really do. I think I look at Man of Steel and I see an amazing Superman movie there. I honestly do. Nothing made by human hands is perfect. If you want to find flaws in anything, you will. It's like that guy Mauler, right? He does YouTube videos and he literally tears to pieces like recent movies. He's done it a couple of times with the Jurassic World movies. And basically, if you're that intelligent and your mind's that open and you look, if you could be bothered to look, you can rip anything to pieces. And you know what? People like that kind of wind me up because they're just there. Their eye can see any mistake. And as I say, everything made by human hands is going to be flawed. It is. Everything's flawed. Even the superior DCEU, which I love. And it is a flawed universe, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point here. When we watch Man of Steel, we enjoy it. There's a deep commentary in Man of Steel and in Batman v Superman. And we know what those commentaries are. And fortunately, unlike today, it's not just about equality or this, that, or the other. There's really deep subjects, human subjects, because that's the thing now, right? With the industry, it's become very obsessed with kind of cultural statements and gender statements, but it's not interested in statements of humanity, if you like. So Man of Steel makes a big human statement about how we're looking for other planets, and this is what Zod's doing. He comes to Earth to make it into Krypton so Krypton can survive. That's exactly what we want to do to some other poor unsuspecting planet. So it's a warning, if you like, and it's a great commentary. Human commentaries, I think, are the future of films rather than this dull, boring cultural commentary or this gender commentary. It's boring. But when you're talking about the whole human race, that interests me. But I suppose, how about making movies that just don't make any commentary whatsoever? That wouldn't be Hollywood. Hollywood have always slipped something in there in the past 30 or 40 years. But I will always defend the DCEU. I don't think the DCEU needs defending. I think it's a great, you know, I think it's a great, brilliant bunch of films. I really do. As I say, when I look at Man of Steel, when I look at Batman v Superman, when I look at Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, even Justice League, there's certain elements of Justice League which are amazing. And, and then Justice League had so much controversy around it. And then for Aquaman to turn around and make $1 billion and be a really popular film, and for young boys and young girls to look up to Aquaman and Mira was a beautiful thing. It really was. You talk about, fitting, a strong female into a role. They really did it with Mira. It really worked. They pulled it off. James Gunn and Walter Hamada saved that movie. There's no question about it. If it stayed the way it was, the way they were doing it before, it would have been, the critics would have hated it. And let's be clear here. It wasn't Wonder Woman. The critics didn't wholeheartedly like Aquaman, but it just about got away with it. And I'm sure if James Wan and Walter Hamada had more time, they could ironed out any other kinks that the critics saw. I didn't see many kinks with this. This is a really, really good tale. This is a really good tale of someone who comes from another land, who basically comes from two worlds, and he's torn. Where do I belong? Where is my loyalty? If my brother's trying to hurt the humans, I've got to protect the humans, which means I have to hurt my own people. But I can't do that. They're my people too. So what you see that struggle through Jason Momoa's performance. And this is what I mean. The DCEU movies are really a unique bunch of movies. And when I go into my cupboard to look at my collection, yes, I'm one who does watch his Blu-rays and 4Ks rather than pressing a button and using a streaming service. But I do believe in these films. I do believe in the future of these films. And as I say, my only concern in the future is that they get too woke. I hope that doesn't happen. I think Birds of Prey is a concern in terms of that. I hope that they just make a really good, great superhero film, comic book film with these, with these really important, strong female comic book characters, but they don't take it that too far. When I talk about woke, I talk about men hate. It's happening a lot now, and it's affecting young men. It's bringing up the amount of people young men are killing themselves and who are suffering with depression, and I talk about that a lot. So I hope we don't go down the men hate avenue. I really do. But in terms of the DCEU and its future, wholeheartedly, I'm very excited and I'm very proud to be a fan. I really am.